Thank you so much for watching Landumc Goes There. Please subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification button. Dragnet is an American television series that starred Jack Webb and Harry Morgan. It ran for 4 seasons from January 12, 1967 to April 16, 1970. Now in this video we're talking about the 1960s version of Dragnet. There was also one in the 50s. In order to differentiate from the 50s Dragnet series, the year in which each season ended is made part of the on-screen title. So when the series started, it would read Dragnet 1967, and when it ended, it would say Dragnet 1970. It aired on Thursdays from 9:30 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. Jack Webb, who stars in the show and who created the entire thing, was a well-known actor and went on to produce this show and many others. He directed and was a screenwriter for a lot of the episodes. His role as Joe Friday in this Dragnet franchise made him an unforgettable character. His production style aimed for significant levels of detail and accuracy. Many of his works focused on law enforcement or emergency services in and around the LA area. When this series closed out, he really intended to revive it again for a third go-round in 1982. But because Harry Morgan had commitments with MASH and its spin-off, After MASH, he wouldn't sign on to do the proposed remake. Webb then decided to cast Kent McCord in the role of Friday's new partner, either as Jim Reed, which is the character McCord played on Adam 12, or as a new character altogether. Unfortunately, all these plans never came about due to Webb's passing because of a massive heart attack in December of 1982. One of the things that made this show so popular is its realism, and the way it spawned its realism would be that Jack Webb would pay $25 to any officer who submitted a story that was used in an episode. He wanted real-life stuff from these real-life cops. If you'll notice, in numerous episodes, there are references made to a police officer named Lieutenant Klingon, and these usually dealt with a polygraph or lie detector test. This was a real police officer in the LAPD who would sometimes work as an advisor on the show. And rumor has it that Gene Roddenberry, who created Star Trek, while he worked in the LAPD's Public Relations Department, became aware of this lieutenant, and that's where he came up with the name for the Klingons in Star Trek. He liked the way this name sounded, and he just altered it slightly. Webb borrowed his opening lines that you see at the beginning of each episode, which are, "The story you are about to hear is true." This came directly from the opening of a 1948 film called He Walked by Night. Webb had played a crime scene investigator or lab technician in that movie. He liked the way this sounded and thought it was a good start to each episode. The LAPD absolutely loved this series. They liked it so much that they gave Webb a detective's badge with Friday's number on it. And they also named 2 buildings in its police academy, Jack Webb Recruit Building and Mark 7. The Mark 7 being the name of his production company. The Webb building was demolished in 2015 as part of the Academy's renovation work. For the sake of continuity, Friday and Gannon always wore the same outfits in every episode. According to Harry Morgan, he and Jack Webb decided to switch coats one scene to see if anyone noticed what they had done. Because only Morgan was in that scene, no one on the set realized it until the scene had been shot. In the very next scene, Morgan has on the correct coat. Morgan's character, Bill Gannon, was married, and it stated he had 4 children, while Joe Friday was a confirmed bachelor. Jack Webb did the same thing with Adam 12, where Reed was married and Malloy wasn't. Webb thought by doing this, it provided a variety for the writers when they wrote dialogue for the different characters. During the run of the series, there are several references about a fictional department store named Barton's. The store was possibly a stand-in for the real-life Bullock's, which was a high-end department store chain in L.A. that went out of business in 1996. In almost every episode, the color orange was featured prominently. Additional colors that really show up and set the time frame were harvest yellow, cornflower blue, and avocado green, which were all popular colors of that era. When Webb teamed up with Universal Television to begin work on this new Dragnet series, Webb had tried to get Ben Alexander to reprise his role as Frank Smith, but Alexander wouldn't leave the ABC series Felony Squad that he was working on at that time. The series then premiered as a mid-season replacement. According to various actors and behind-the-scenes personnel who worked on the series, there is a telltale sign at the beginning of every episode whether the story of that particular show is long or short, and whether or not it easily fills up that 30-minute format that the show falls in. If that episode content is too short, Friday's opening monologue of This is the City, Los Angeles, California, will be accompanied by what amounts to a tourist travelogue, in which Friday starts describing aspects of the city's attractions, lifestyles, and/or history. If the episode is long and fills up the format, the opening monologue will simply be something like, This is the city, Los Angeles, California. I work here. I carry a badge. After Webb died in December of 1982, he was given full police honors at his funeral, and they retired the badge number 714 to never be used again. Webb is laid to rest at Forest Lawn, Hollywood Hills Cemetery in L.A. Take a look back at this fascinating series. It's an intriguing watch. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue to chase the classics.